burning, pressure, that nagging urge. Again, you just went. But your bladder feels like it didn't get the memo. At first, you think maybe it's just age. But then you're waking up 2-3 times a night. You're scanning for the bathroom wherever you go. And slowly, silently, it starts stealing your freedom. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of men over 50 are dealing with it, often without even knowing why. Welcome to Stream Smart 50 Plus, where we talk honestly, openly, and smartly about the body changes no one warned us about. And today, we're diving into something every man over 50 should understand. Let's get right to it. What does an enlarged prostate really feel like? It's not a sharp pain, not the kind that makes you gasp. It's a squeeze. A slow, steady pressure. Like something deep inside your lower pelvis is clenching tighter and tighter, but never quite letting go. You might not even realize it at first. A little extra time in the bathroom, a slightly weaker stream, an odd sensation like you're never fully empty. At first, it's just annoying, but then it starts. You stand at the toilet and wait. Your bladder's full. You know it is, but nothing's coming. You lean forward. You push. You pray. A thin trickle. A stop. A start. You strain again. You wait again. Finally, some relief. But it's not complete. You finish, but somehow you don't feel done. And then, a few minutes later, drip, drip. The dreaded post-pee leak. The one that stains your underwear. The one that makes you feel 10 years older than you are. The one you try to hide, even from yourself. You start carrying spare underwear, maybe tissues. You double-check your pants before leaving the stall. You wonder if anyone notices. At night, it gets worse. You get up once, then twice, then 3 times. Your sleep is broken. Your mind is foggy. And the next day, you're dragging. Not just tired, bone-weary. Your energy is gone. Your patience wears thin. And it feels like you're living in a fog that never lifts. Out in public, your habits change. You start checking the location of every bathroom before you even order a coffee. You sit on the aisle at movies. You turn down long car rides. You avoid places without easy access to a toilet. You feel nervous about getting stuck in traffic, about standing in long lines, about being too far from relief. It's subtle at first, this shift in your daily routine, but slowly, it starts to shape your life. You begin scheduling less, socializing less. You stop trusting your bladder. You start to feel older. You may even feel embarrassed, ashamed, like your body is betraying you. But here's the thing. It's not your fault. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're not alone. It's your prostate growing. Silently. Gradually. Relentlessly. This little walnut-sized gland beneath your bladder. After age 40 or 50, for most men, it begins to enlarge. Doctors call it BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. A fancy way of saying your prostate's getting bigger and it's making it harder to pee. But there's nothing benign about how it feels. Because when that prostate presses on your urethra, the tiny tube that carries urine out, it's like trying to force water through a pinched straw. Your bladder has to work overtime just to push through. It gets tired, it gets irritated, and it lets you know, with urgency, with frequency, with that awful sensation that something's just not right. And the longer it goes on, the more strain it puts on everything. Your bladder can become overactive, or worse, underactive. You can get infections, retention, even damage to your kidneys in rare cases. But long before any of that, it steals your peace of mind because no man wants to talk about it. No one wants to admit, hey, I'm leaking, or I can't pee, or I'm scared I won't make it in time. But if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Not by a long shot. This is one of the most common health issues in men over 50. And while it may feel like the end of your independence, it's not. You can do something about it. There are lifestyle changes, foods that help, exercises, supplements, medical treatments from the simple to the high-tech. But the first step is knowing what's really going on inside your body, understanding the pressure, the urgency, the fatigue, the frustration, the changes that sneak in slowly until one day you realize you've been building your life around your bathroom breaks. That's not living. So today, take it back. Knowledge is power. And this is where we start. Stay tuned, because next we'll dive into the real reasons your prostate grows and what you can do, starting today, to get your flow and your freedom back. So, why does the prostate grow in the first place? It's a question millions of men ask, usually after their second or third midnight bathroom trip. You wake up tired, frustrated, wondering why your body, once so predictable, so reliable, is now on its own schedule. And the answer? It starts quietly, after age 40. That's when your hormones begin to shift. Your testosterone, the fuel that drove your youth, your strength, your energy, starts to taper off. Not all at once, not dramatically, but little by little, year after year, like a slow leak you don't notice at first. But here's the twist most men don't know. As testosterone goes down, another hormone-like compound goes up. It's called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. Now, DHT is actually made from testosterone. Your body converts some of your T into DHT. And that's normal. But for reasons science is still working to fully understand, in many aging men, that conversion process goes into overdrive. And DHT? It has one very clear message for the prostate. Grow and don't stop. Imagine that. Your testosterone is dropping, yet your prostate is getting a louder, stronger growth signal than ever before. It's like turning down the volume on the main engine, while the background machinery goes haywire. Over the years, this signal keeps repeating. The prostate, once about the size of a walnut, begins to swell. Slowly at first, then more. It presses forward, downward, inward, and right in its path, your urethra, that tiny tube that carries urine from your bladder out of the body. As the prostate expands, it squeezes the urethra like a clamp around a hose. The medical term for this is BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Let's break that down. Benign, meaning it's not cancer. It's not a tumor. It won't spread or metastasize. Prostatic, related to your prostate gland. Hyperplasia, meaning too many cells growing where they shouldn't. So no, BPH isn't dangerous in the way cancer is. But let's be honest, the symptoms can feel downright miserable. We're talking about a stream so weak, it feels like your bladder is giving up, starting and stopping mid-flow, like a faucet with a broken valve. That horrible, incomplete sensation, like you just can't empty yourself. Constant urges, even minutes after you've just gone. A bladder that keeps shouting, "Go! Go now!" even when there's almost nothing there. And of course, those nights, interrupted, sleep shattered, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the next trip. And here's the part that makes it even worse. When the urethra is pinched, your bladder has to pick up the slack. It starts to push harder. It tightens. It strains every time you try to pee. At first, it compensates. But over time, the bladder walls thicken. They become less elastic. They start to weaken. Eventually, your bladder can't empty completely, no matter how hard it tries. Urine builds up. Risk of infections increases. And you're left in a state of constant discomfort, never feeling truly relieved. Some men even develop what's called urinary retention, where the bladder simply can't release urine at all. That's a medical emergency. Others end up depending on catheters just to urinate. All of this from a gland most men never think about until it's too late. And all of it triggered by that invisible hormonal shift that begins quietly in your 40s. Testosterone down, DHT up, prostate grows, urethra shrinks, bladder struggles, life changes. That's the real story behind an enlarged prostate. It's not about shame. It's not about weakness. It's biology. It's chemistry. It's aging, yes. But aging with knowledge means you can do something about it. And now that you know the why, you're one step closer to regaining control. And here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about peeing. It's not just about standing at the toilet for 3 minutes and wondering when or if it's going to start. It's not just about the drips, the stalls, the midnight bathroom runs. It's about so much more than that. It's about dignity. It's about feeling like yourself, in control, confident, unbothered. It's about the part of you that used to just work without effort, now suddenly betraying you, making you hesitate, making you plan your life around restrooms. It's about sleep. Because it's hard to function on 4 hours of broken rest. It's hard to think clearly when you're up 2, 3, 4 times a night. It's hard to enjoy your mornings when you spend them yawning. It's about energy. Not just physical energy, but your spark, your motivation, your confidence, your peace of mind. It's about the stuff we, as men, are often taught not to talk about. The things we shrug off with, I'm just getting older, or it's nothing serious, or worst of all, I'll deal with it later. But here's the truth, and it might sting a little. That silence, that quiet endurance, that tendency to just live with it, it's hurting more men than you realize. Because that silence keeps us stuck. It keeps us from learning that yes, there are real, natural, proven ways to take back control. We're not just talking about pills and surgery. We're talking about solutions that start small and make a huge difference. Foods that help shrink the swelling in the prostate. Not exotic, overpriced foods. Everyday ingredients with anti-inflammatory power. Natural supplements backed by science that reduce urgency, improve flow, and support hormone balance without nasty side effects. Simple lifestyle changes, the kind you can start today, that take the pressure off your bladder, your sleep, and your mind. None of this is fantasy, and none of it is out of reach. But the first step is not ignoring the symptoms. So if you've been feeling any of this, that slow, hesitant stream, that never-empty sensation, the late-night trips that steal your sleep, the low-grade fear of leaks, of accidents, of being too far from a bathroom. Hear this now. You're not weak. You're not broken. And you're definitely not alone. You're just overdue for answers. And here's where we start. If this message hit home, hit that like button right now. It helps others find this video. It tells YouTube that men's health matters. And it tells you that you're not facing this in silence anymore. Subscribe for real talk about men's health after 50. Not the sugar-coated version. Not the scare tactics. Just straight facts, practical tools, and real solutions designed for men like you. And in the comments, I want to hear from you. What's been your biggest frustration with prostate health? Is it the urgency, the weak flow, the fatigue, the embarrassment? Let it out. You never know who you might help just by sharing your story. Because when one man speaks up, it gives others permission to do the same. And here's the truth we don't hear often enough. When your stream is strong, your life flows easier, you worry less, you sleep better. You say yes more often, to travel, to events, to life. So let's fix the silence. Let's stream smart. Let's age strong. Together. Because getting older doesn't have to mean giving up control. It just means getting smarter. Starting now and never looking back.